Greetings, everyone. We're back in effect, y'all. All right, so as y'all know, this evening's discussion will be dark gods and demons in your mind. That'll be the discussion for this week. But while we're waiting for other people to journey in here, a couple announcements. First, Thursday, the vampiric class, the private vampiric class for those who signed up, will be in effect. Next Sunday, not next Sunday, is it next Sunday? April 14th? Yeah, next Sunday, April 14th, we'll finally have part 2 to the power of sex magic on the left-hand path, and the sister cosmic serpent will be joining us next week at that time. And then Friday, Friday, I'll be doing a live class once again. The live class most likely will deal with something about the Sith, which I'll make an announcement in a little while about that if I don't forget. Some interesting things that we're going to develop working on the Sith or with the Sith. So that's what's good for now. All right, so now that more people are in here, while we're waiting, I would like to play a track, which is something I'm going to do from here on forth for any up and coming MCs, aka rappers, producers, things of that nature. I'm going to give them an outlet for their music to be heard. So YouTube, this music that I will be playing is not copyrighted, so don't get funky and try to hit somebody with a copyright strike. It's not copyrighted. The brother who I'll be playing this evening is on here right now. And that brother is Coldfield Blue. Now let me go back to where it is. Okay, here it is. This is one of my favorite tracks from him. It's called 99 Moon by brother Coldfield Blue, who's in here now. Next week, during this coming week, I hope to have my first discussion on the hip hop and the left hand path occult channel. Go subscribe. The name of the channel is Hip Hop and the Left Hand Path Occult channel. We're going to be integrating or bringing the two together for people who are into hip hop, the culture, which is not just the music, it's the DJ / producer, the MC / rapper, the street artist / graffiti, and the b-boy, b-girl / misnomered breakdancers. Okay, we're going to be discussing all levels of hip hop. We're also going to be discussing movies and the occult on that channel. We're going to be discussing sports. We're going to be discussing everything. So if you haven't, go sign up or subscribe to that channel, Hip Hop and the Occult. All right, it's called. I keep saying it wrong. Hip Hop and the Left Hand Path Occult. Hip Hop and the Left Hand Path Occult. If you haven't signed up, subscribe there, because we're going to be having some of these up and coming artists and producers. I'm going to be interviewing them. We're going to be discussing their music. We're also going to be discussing their how they've been influenced by the left hand path or the occult, things of that nature. So support that channel. Coming this week, I plan to do something myself. Brother Rogue Titan, if he's back in town, most likely. If not, then I'll do something myself. But support that from here forth. So while we're waiting for a little bit, let me put on a couple minutes or a minute or so of this song. Once again, YouTube, this is not copyrighted, so don't get funky. and try to hit someone with a copyright strike. Okay, we have proof and verification. The brother Cofield Blue has given permission for this. He's on here now. So here it is. This is one of my favorite songs, 99 Blue. Here it goes. All right. So hopefully y'all heard that banging ass beat. Check out the brother Cofield Blue. He's in here. Any MCs out there, get with the brother. That's as you can hear, there's some banging beats, straight knocking beats. So if you want to get with the brother, he's right here, Cofield Blue. Hit him up, Cofield Blue. Put your contact information in the chat room, please. So that way, if any MCs are out here and they want to connect with you, hook up with you, also put in the city that you live in, where you currently reside, so that anybody knows, especially they may be in your area. All right. All right, here's his info. CofieldBlue@gmail.com or Instagram CofieldBlue. All right. He lives in Beaufort, South Carolina. So anybody who's in South Carolina or the Carolinas, yeah, home of the Geechees. Yeah, I've been through there a few times, and I had a friend who lived near that area. So what I'm gonna do, Cofield Blue, don't let me forget. Towards the end of before we wrap it up, I'm gonna play that track again. So don't let me forget, because I will forget once I get going and rolling. I might forget. All right. So don't forget. All right. So let's get it on and popping. All right. Everybody who I haven't greeted, what's good? Passion is that fire. Let's bring that passion this evening. All right. So as y'all know, the discussion for this evening is dark gods and demons in your mind. Why I specifically chose that title was because I was inspired by someone else, but it's something that we've been saying for a long time on this channel. Most of the gods and goddesses exist within our subconscious mind or our unconscious or collective unconscious minds. Okay. I'll give you a quote here from Joseph Campbell. The realm of the gods and dreams, purgatory, hell, and heaven are of the substance of dreams. Myth, in this view, is the dream of the world. Now, Joseph Campbell, for those who are not familiar, study mythos across this planet of ours in various cultures across the planet, tribes, etc., etc. And he found similarities across the board with these different groups and the mythos being similar or related, some way, shape, form, or fashion. For anybody walking the left-hand path, you definitely want to try to study some of Joseph Campbell's works. He has a lot of videos that are on YouTube that you see excerpts of him discussing things of this nature, and he discusses the hero and the adversary and things of that nature. So this is why it's important to understand mythos, the reality of mythos, and how it connects to the collective unconscious across the planet. Well, gods, especially dark gods, exist within the subconscious, the psyche. And those dark gods and demons are nothing more than metaphors of the most ferocious, the most hideous, the most perverted, the most emotional, and I mean rageful, angry parts that are within yourself. And those archetypes that are related to as these dark gods and demons are nothing more than metaphors of what exists already within you. What happens is you resonate with these dark gods or demons because the shadow self is seeking to awake. After years of being repressed and suppressed, after years of being programmed and conditioned, what is happening is that across the planet, we're starting to see a shift, especially among certain groups of people. Let's say some melanated groups of people, they're seeking the dark gods and demons. They're seeking the sinister path or the dark path. The reason why they're seeking that is because everything else has failed. Everything else has been utilized to incarcerate the mind, and in some cases, incarcerate the body. So when we look closely and you start to understand that all these dark gods and demons exist within your subconscious, unconscious mind, what does that really say about you and I as the individuals? It means that we're afraid of our very self because we've been taught to run from the darkest part of ourselves. We've been taught to shun the darkest part of ourselves, but it is the darkest part of ourselves that we need the most. Because you cannot be a complete, 100% complete, or 360 degrees physical, 360 degrees spiritual, complete being unless you give light to the dark. The dark has always existed prior to the light and will continue to exist when the light is far extinguished millions of years from now. But we are afraid to put light or intellect into the dark because we start to find out the very things we run from. What occurred when you were younger that caused you to be rageful? Were you abused? Were you molested? Were you ignored? These things parlay into other aspects of our life that start to control us and affect us today. And they continue to control us and affect us today. Many people look for everything else other than reality. And what do I mean by that? They'll look for everything other than facing the true reality of themselves. Carl Jung said it best. People look for figures of light and avoid the very dark aspects of themselves. But you cannot become enlightened by giving more power or homage to the figures of light without going into the dark and bringing the shadowy aspect of yourself to the surface. But we do this consistently. I know individuals who've been teeter-tottering on the left-hand path, on and off. And then when they do get in the left-hand path, they seem to gravitate to the most fluffiest or semi-fluffy or middle path kind of archetypes. They'll choose Shiva, but they won't work with the destroyer or the destructive aspect of Shiva. They won't work with Rudra or Pashupati. They'll work with Shiva and utilize the fluffy aspects that has been promoted by this new age philosophy and mentality, and that's how they work with Shiva. So they be on the periphery. They want to get in because they know, but when they tasted some of the left-hand path, they felt the chaos. They felt the world turn upside down. And we've been asked these questions many a times. Why is it when I got into this, my world became chaotic, my world turned upside down? That's because that's what you need. It's not necessarily what you want. When you walk the left-hand path, what do you need? Is usually what comes to the surface, not what you want. See, a lot of people join or get down with magic and sorcery and things like that because they want to parlay or bring into a situation some financial assistance, or they want to get their loved one who, by the way, left them purposely. Their loved one left them purposely, but they want to do a love spell to bring the person back. The reality of that person coming back on their own free will is next to none if they really left you for just cause, what they felt was just cause, but you're going to force them, basically make them a zombie unto you. There's no true love there because you're so deluded in your issues and drama and pain that you can't see the reality that you lost. So they get down with magic and sorcery for things of that nature. And trust, there's people out there that will vamp down on you to capitalize off of your ignorance, off of your emotional pain, off of your core issues and drama and wounds. And they'll charge you $150 to do a love spell. Not on the left-hand path. You come asking me, can you do a love spell for me, Ravana? It ain't that I don't know. I know buku amount of love spells. The reality is I'm not vested in your love interest. What does that mean? I have no concern about your love interest. So the passion and the desire that I would put behind a ritual to assist you in your endeavors for a love spell is not going to be very strong. So on the left-hand path, use the key that's at the end of your own hand, okay, which is then in your hand. What we do is we give you the ritual to do yourself. We'll teach you, talk to you, share with you. This is how to work it, etc., etc., etc. So you could do it yourself instead of us doing it for you. Because you the God, you run the show, you the master of yourself. So why would I do it for you? Whoever's pimping and playing and capitalizing off of your weaknesses and your desires for what you really want, and ain't teaching you how to be the God over yourself, stay away from from those people. Because all they're going to do is keep taking advantage of you. They have no concern for you. This path, we connect with people who are like-minded. Like-minded insofar as they're trying to deify themselves. Trying to understand divinity. What is divinity? Consciousness. Consciousness. That's it. Stop spooking the shit out, making it some little fat, fluffy angels flying around. Oh, the divine. Look at Cupid's fat ass. Listen, divinity is simply the consciousness. Okay? Self-deified consciousness. In order to bring self-deified consciousness, you must go into that deep, darkest aspect of yourself. You can't keep playing with these things. The dark gods and demons in simple reality need to be integrated into your everyday existence. Okay? They will help you exalt the ego. Instead of, like the right-hand path does, degrade the ego. Why do they exalt or help you exalt your ego? Because that is, or has always been, the dark gods and demons have always been a part of your psyche. They are the demons that were formed by you at an early age in your childhood, even in your teenage years, and sometimes even your adult years. The most hideous parts of your life, we formed and created demons from it. We tapped into that part of our subconscious mind, which is vast more impactful and has a larger depth than the conscious mind, which barely is above the surface. So what happens is that, how do you actually integrate these demons? How do you integrate these demons into your life? How do you integrate these dark gods into your life? Well, first of all, do a ritual in the dark, complete darkness. You'll start to manifest these dark gods in your life. You'll start bringing them forth into your life. Okay? But I'm not going to go too far into that, because that's actually part 2 on Sunday, dark meditations and dark mantras, on how to actually tap into these dark gods and demons. What happens, and we've said this numerous of times, stop repressing. Stop repressing the demons and dark gods within you. Stop pushing them back. If you've done some ritual work and all of a sudden, let's say, Belial comes forth, there's a reason for that. Because the demon aspect of yourself that resonates with that archetype is trying to show you something. Let me explain what I mean by that. Your subconscious mind records everything, especially it records it in the hippocampus area of the brain. Okay? It records all these aspects of your life. Events, traumas, wounds, happiness, joy, sadness, darkness, light, whatever you want to label these things at, it records it all. Okay? Then you have your conscious mind, which is the distracted mind. That's the mind that operates most of the time, especially during the day. But when you get to the dark, and the dark hours come forth, something starts to happen where the subconscious mind awakens. And this is why you could be watching a movie in the dark and all of a sudden you see a shadow figure in the corner. It ain't because you're watching that movie, it's because the movie and the sounds and the music are actually tapping into your subconscious mind, and you're starting to awaken. Your subconscious mind starting to tap into the dimensions, different dimensions. And while you're watching this movie, you'll see these things and you'll be like, yo, did you see that? If your homeboy or homegirl ain't really with you on that, they're going to look at you like, this nigga crazy. But if they really with you, they're going to be like, yeah, I saw that too. Don't shut off the TV. Don't turn on the lights because you're spooky and scared. Stay with it. Work with it. Go into it. Okay? Go into that. Because that's your subconscious mind trying to communicate with you. If you have a dream and you see these dark gods and demons in your dream, what's essentially happening to you is your superconscious, or what people will call the higher self or the true self, okay, is trying to communicate with you. But the conscious mind is distracted by stupidity. So what happens is, the best way it communicates with you is through rituals, especially if you repeat a ritual over and over. That repetition is one of the ways to tap into the subconscious mind. Okay? Dream states. Because your conscious mind is now not the dominant mind, so it's able to utilize symbols within your dream that the subconscious mind recorded, and it plays it back for you for messages that you need, because there's something you're not focusing on, something you need to be working on. So let's say that you saw Cthulhu in your dream. That dark god is resonating. That archetype is resonating with your subconscious mind and yourself. It's utilizing those symbols for you to say, yo, okay, what does Cthulhu represent? First and foremost, chaos, the old gods, the original powers of yourself, the truth of yourself, etc., 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 etc. Rage, chaos, destruction. It's trying to communicate with you in a dream about things in your life that you're not paying attention to because you want to watch Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Okay? It's trying to say, put Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs away. I'm trying to get your attention. But your silly self wants to watch these fluffy things. I'm trying to get you with it. Okay? I'm trying to get you with it. But you want to keep jumping around to these fluffy things. So what happens is many times it'll bust out in your dreams and grab you by the balls or grab you by the vagina. Might tickle you a little bit, but it's going to grab you there. It's going to say, yo, pay attention. So if you have one of these dark gods and you've seen it in your dream, do yourself a favor and study everything about that dark god that has come forth in your dream, because that's what you need at the present moment. That is what you need at the present moment. And there's certain aspects. Okay, for example, that archetype, let's say, what does it represent, etc., etc. Those things that archetype represents doesn't mean that's within you. Cut the damn listen. I hear this all the time. Oh, Kali spoke to me. She told me I'm such a divine goddess. Kali ain't said shit, by the way. Okay? That's your subconscious mind and your true self, demonic true self, trying to say, yo, I'm utilizing the archetype, the symbol of what Kali represents. So I'm speaking with that archetype, or meaning I'm speaking as the symbol of that archetype to try to get to your subconscious and conscious mind to wake the hell up. But no, we think Kali really spoke to me. No, didn't happen. That's a metaphor. Now, you can fight, wrestle with me. That's all good. But if you try to convince me that you saw Kali and spoke to her, I'm going to say, in your subjective realm, yes. I'm not in your subjective realm, so you can't convince me to co-sign that for you. You understand? I can't co-sign that with you. That's your subjective realm. So it's true to you, but it may not be true to me. But as individuals who walk these paths, understand further along you go, these are simply metaphors or simple symbols of what is trying to be communicated to you. So again, if these archetypes present themselves in your dreams, the dark gods, it's because not you're so great and because you're connected to it, because we're so quick to hug and squeeze the good parts of us. No, the archetypes are usually resonating. The dark gods, demons are resonating some part of you that is lacking. That's why they're there, because you're lacking that in your life. You're missing that in your life, or you need to activate that in your life. Not because you're so dope. Because, people are quick to say, oh, Shango came to me and Shango said, I'm a masculine divine warrior. Yeah, great. Now, if that's the case, what do you do next? What, you put on a Shango shirt and then you change your name to Shango Akbar? I mean, what is next? The reality is these archetypes normally come to you because you're lacking in that which the archetype represents the dominant power or force in. But people are afraid of their own shadow. They're afraid of their own dark. Because they're afraid of their own shadow and dark, they will do the absurd to run from their shadows. Now, good brother Thomas Leroy from the sect of the Horn Gods, I like to say this part, which is very, very deep part. I like when he said this because I've been resonating and meditating on this for a while. Dark gods and light gods. What is the major difference between the two? Dark gods are complete, for they have not lost their shadow aspects. Let me say that again. The dark gods, the demons, are complete beings or entities or metaphors or archetypes, for they have not lost their shadowy aspects. But the gods of light, the reason why the gods of light need you to grovel and pray and do salat, why they need you to do all these things you do in the church, in the masjid or mosque, in a synagogue, why they need you to constantly venerate them, why they need offerings. Simple. Because the gods of light are incomplete. This is why they're always trying to get you to merge with them. This is why they want you to worship them. This is why they want you to become one with them. Because you have that shadow aspect that they're missing. See, Lucifer, if you really look at the representation and metaphor of Lucifer, Lucifer understands both sides. This is why he was supreme in the sense of he brought the gnosis to humanity, because he understood the shadow and the light in the symbolic story of Lucifer. He understands that. He was the light bearer, but he became the prince of darkness. Yeah. Gods of light are incomplete. That's why they want you to constantly become one with them, worship them, bow to them, pray to them. In another way, the gods of light are trying to devour you. They're trying to eliminate you. This is why one of the biggest teachings on the light path or the right path or the right hand path is what? Destroy your ego. Annihilate your ego. Because you can't have no ego identity if you merge with the gods of light. You can't have that. So I got to get rid of that. I got to make you a soulless being. I got to make you a being that is lacking ego. So that when I merge with you as a god of light, I can absorb you and your identity and consciousness is gone. And people will do anything for this stupid ass teaching. That's why they need you. Gods of light need you because they're incomplete. The dark gods are complete, which is why they're more powerful. The demons are more powerful and leave a long-lasting impression in your mind when they come forth, because they're complete. So what happens is we wrestle day and night with ourselves to ignore the dark gods, the demons that are calling forth, so that we can speak to Saint Michael or the Archangel Michael. And people have asked me before, can I work with Angel Michael on the left-hand path? Listen, you can work with the Pillsbury Doughboy. I don't care. If it works for you, it works for you. But what's the purpose of working with Michael? Are you working with Michael because you're trying to accomplish light side things? Well, then if that's the case, then go back to the light or the right side. I'm not going to work with Michael. Michael comes to me, I'm going to say, suck it, because I ain't doing it, bro. Keep it moving. I had enough of that crap in my life. Do you understand? I had enough of it. I don't need it anymore. I don't want it anymore. The work, to me, is 100% tapping into that shadow self or the dark side. The vampire classes, that's one of the big heavies that we hit in the vampire classes, is tapping into the shadow self. And the vampire represents an archetype of the shadow self. So we're utilizing that archetype. We also will be incorporating Sith classes for the Sith from the Star Wars saga, but modernizing it to today. The Sith. For all those who want to get down with that, email me, darkcultist99outlook.com, because I have challenges before you can even step into the realm of being an acolyte or initiate. There's challenges that you must go through. This is not, can I just get down and get some information? No, sorry. The Sith don't roll like that. Never have, never will. We will challenge the hell out of you. Okay? Challenge your mind, challenge your will, challenge your desire, challenge your physical, and challenge your mental. Okay? Well, I did say that already. The mind, will, yeah, whatever. That's what we're dealing with. So we can really tap into that darker aspect of ourself. Because what happens is that everybody, I don't care how long you've been on the left-hand path, some way, somehow, we still may wrestle with the lightness, the right-hand path. We still wrestle with that. If I work with my chakras, I'm not working with my chakras so I could be divine and wonderful, and I just want to be totally balanced, and I want to chant Om Namah Shivaya all the time, even though that's a powerful mantra. But I'm just saying, okay, or Om Mani Padme Hum or whatever, okay? That's not why I'm doing that. If I'm working with the chakras, I'm working with that chakras because I'm tapping into that dark God, dark demonic aspect of myself. I'm channeling and working the chakras in reverse. And I'm utilizing it to devour. I'm not just devouring external things. I'm devouring internal things. My weaknesses, my emotions that don't serve me anymore, my attachments that don't serve me anymore, my pains and trauma. I'm going to devour that. And I'm going to utilize the power of the chakras from the left-hand path perspective to devour them. I'm not going to sissyfoot my pain and my trauma. I've done that so many years. Oh, I'm going to just sit home and wrap up in a blanket and watch a movie and cry my life away. Listen, son, I done that years ago. Not happening anymore. All right? It's time to bring that warrior side of yourself like a Kali, all right? Like a Set, to whip some culo, some butt up in here and stop playing with yourself. Not that kind of playing with yourself. That's a different kind of playing with yourself. I'm talking about playing with yourself as far as trying to sissy your pain and your wound and trauma and man up, woman up. Bring it. Come on, come to the surface. I'm ready. Let's bring it to the surface and let's deal with it. Let's stop playing these games of let's stop playing these games of always trying to be such a sweet and nice person. Y'all already know what nice means, right? We did the etymology of that. Nice really means ignorant, stupid, etc., etc., etc. Which is why people tell you always be nice, because they want you to be ignorant and stupid so you can be shafted up the butt without grease. And now, please, nobody in here, I'm telling you now, please do not bring up this stuff, because I get irritated with this Illuminati and another rapper getting killed and all this stuff. Please don't do it. Okay? Because I might hurt people's feelings the way I'm feeling this evening if they bring that stuff up. All right? Every rapper, they want to claim that Illuminati killed, when sometimes the reality is you go back into your neighborhood, your own people is going to wipe your ass out because there's still some grudges they holding over. Okay? If the Illuminati really wants to take you out, they're going to do it JFK style. They're going to snipe your ass and nobody going to see it. They ain't going to have a homeboy in the middle of the street gunning you down, running back and forth, trying to keep you shooting you. Nah, son, that's not the Illuminati style. They use snipers. You will never know that it's coming. You will never see who hit it. You will never see who took out the target. You will never see that. But everybody want to claim this because we so delusional that we want to feel important in some way, somehow. Oh, the Illuminati. You really think the Illuminati cares about y'all? Just cut it out. You really think that? That's how crazy and delusional we could get. If they really cared about y'all, they would shut down hip-hop in a matter of a moment. Don't tell me they can't do it if they so-called control everything. They would shut down hip-hop if it was going to be so controversial and wake up people the way it has. They don't care if you wake up. Because Manly P. Hall said it best. You can stand at the top of a lodge yelling out all the secrets and it will go on deaf ears because people will not understand them because these esoteric truths are not for the masses. They will not understand them. They'll understand them to a point, a little bit, but they will not understand the depths of the esoteric truths. So you can yell all the secrets you want. You can claim all this you want. It's not going to happen. Anyway, that's another story. Let me turn this volume down. All right, so all right, now here's what we're gonna do, y'all. We're gonna take some questions, but first, before we take questions, I'm gonna scroll up and I'm gonna see if there's any comments or questions in the chat room. While I'm reading that, type in your questions now. All right, type in the questions now. You're welcome, Coalfield Blue. All right, let's see. You're welcome, Lisa Marie Lawrence. I love to share. Christianity has done a fantastic job of severing the shadow from the person. It's done a fantastic job of creating zombies, mental slaves to a fictitious character that can never be proven. Ever. What happens is this. You have about 2 million people, let's say, that are 2 billion, close to 2 billion people that are Christians worldwide, right? Boy, I tell you. And they're praying to something that really can't be proven. Okay, the day and night they pray. Everything is praise Jesus. Thank you, God. You did great for me. Yet the same God that they pray to is the same God that allows the tragedy, allows the disasters, allows the deaths, etc., to continue to occur. I said they because I could care less about your God and your philosophies and your religions. Okay? But it's when you analyze and study Christianity or Islam or Judaism or whatever the case may be, it's this theme of being a slave to God. Listen, in Islam, you're a servant of Allah, Abdullah, or as some people say, Abdullah, servant of Allah, or slave, because the root comes from abd, which is similar to slave. Servant or slave or Allah of Allah. Okay? Basically, you've become a servant. And when you go through the Quran, you'll find instances where Allah says, don't kill, but then kill. That you could kill infidels, etc., etc., etc. See, but then they say Islam is the religion of peace. Islam is the religion of submission to God. Think about it. You go to Christianity, they say Christianity is the religion of love. That's what I hear a lot people, Christians, say. It's the religion of love. We love. But you say, I worship Lucifer, let's say, just to test him. Oh, blasphemy. Well, I thought you loved me. You can't love me because I'm down with Lucifer, I'm down with Satan or something. You can't love me? Where's the contradiction, people? So religion, in a sense, has created mental slaves, servants, and worshipers of nothingness. But it's utilized by masses of people to keep people under control and to feed them your energy. See, when these are disasters or these shootings or killings occur, they get the whole world up in an uproar. Listen, Khalid down the block could have been shot and nobody goes in an uproar. But a rapper or some celebrity gets killed and everybody's out of their goes ballistic and out of their mind. Programming to its finest. Mental slaves to its finest. And then all the conspiracy theories and everything come out. It's just mind control, y'all. The so-called people who are so conscious are not that conscious. If they're easily affected and emotionally involved when things like that occur, you're not that conscious. A person on the left-hand path is going to sit back and say, wow, you see what happened, watch the reaction, check it out. Just watch the slaves, just watch the servants, and watch their masters and how they move the chess pieces, and you just analyze this and say, sheep, cattle, herd mentality. And you can see it over and over and over. But it continues. And it will keep continuing because the underlying theme behind all of this is people, no matter how cult they are, still have a heavy weight of religion in their mind. If you gotta text me or email me and ask me if it's okay if you do this or work with this or that, religion is still in your mind and it's still controlling you. If you still feel you need to work with some fluffy ass archetype, it's controlling you. Because there's a part of you that feels guilty, so I have to bring some so-called balance into this work by working with something of light so I don't lose myself. Well, then you're weak. Sorry, I call it like I see it. You're weak. That means you don't have the power and the will to really stick to the work of the shadow and master that. So you want to bring something fluffy and put it on your altar because you shook now because all this chaos came into your life. So let me run back. Let me run back to the fluffy stuff real quick so I can harmonize this or integrate it or balance it out. Let me run and bring it together. Now I feel better about myself. No, you just seesawing. You ain't 100% in. I'm 100% in. There is no going back for me. I've been 100% in for years. I do not look back. I'm not going to be running to no figures of light so I can keep suppressing the dark. Anyways, let me keep going. Indeed, Saka 13 Kyoto. It's the only path right now that made sense to me. And that's why I've embraced it 100% as well. Let me tell you why I feel it makes sense and why I feel a lot of people, especially melanated people, need this, but overall, everybody needs this. But let me say why. For years, I've heard this unity thing. We need to come together. We need to unite. We need to listen. I done heard this for years. 80s, 90s, 2000s. Now we're in a 2000, almost to 2020, and still we need to unite. We need to come together. We need to boycott. We need to do this. We need to da 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 da. Damn, son, this happened in the 50s, the 60s, 70s. How long is it going to take before it clicks in your head? The stuff does not work. Let me tell you why it doesn't work. It's not going to work because if you haven't mastered yourself, if you haven't done the work to even begin to master yourself, what occurs is when you're trying to unite with a group of people is your issues are going to come to the surface and conflict with somebody else's issues, and all hell breaks loose. There goes the unity. And this has happened over and over and over. This is why organizations crumble from within. Now, you can tell me, yeah, they planted an agent in there and everything. Yeah, but the agent only had to whisper to bring the conflict that was already there. Okay? So this path made sense because if you master yourself, and then you with another person who's mastered themselves, you know how to master, right? You've done the things to master your issues. So when you're trying to work together, unified front together, you don't allow those issues, the habitual patterns and things that have destroyed so many of your parts of your life affect what you're trying to do as a unified front. But it's going to affect a unified front if you haven't mastered that part of yourself. That's why it makes sense to me, because you can't move together as a front, as a group, if you ain't mastered your BS. We don't make excuses for our BS on the left-hand path. We face our BS. And I'm not talking about people who come on the left-hand path to justify their BS, because you have a lot of those too who come into this path to justify their BS, and they get lost in it. They become extremists. They give into all the debauchery and all the extreme lust and everything else because it seems like this path justifies or allows me to do these things. Yet they miss that part where you can indulge, but with restraint. Restraint, y'all. You got to restrain yourself at times. You just can't indulge and go buck wild because you're feeding a beast that may control you. You can't control it. So they come in here hoping that they can hide within the left-hand path all their issues. Face the worst, darkest part of yourself. I've done that and continue to do that. Many of y'all have done that and continue to do that as well. What I mean by the most darkest, disgusting, whatever words you want to use, part of yourself, bring it to the surface. Bring it to the surface and confront it, or it will confront you and rule you. That part of yourself that is the most angry, rageful, that part of yourself that wants to destroy and devour people. Why? Why do you want to do that? I'm not talking about devouring for knowledge and devouring for energizing yourself, things of that nature. I'm talking about You're just on a straight sadistic type of devouring. Why? What part of you is so sadistic that you haven't dealt with it yet? I'm not telling you you can't use it at times, because as a Sith, we use all those avenues, cunningness, deception, if we have to, for the progression and elevation of self and those you roll with. What I'm saying is, don't get ruled by those things and destroyed by those very things. All right, let me continue here. Good. For those who are in the classes, y'all know by now that I do a lot of mirror magic. For those who don't know, and if you ever take a class with me or things of that nature, the reason why I utilize a lot of mirror magic is because it's one of the best ways to tap into your shadow self, tap into that subconscious mind. The mirror is like a gateway, a vortex, a tunnel to the abyss of your mind. And when you face yourself, sometimes, I'm going to be real with people, when you face yourself in the mirror, I'm not talking about putting makeup and make yourself look pretty, or you trim your beard, or you do your hair, or do your hygiene stuff. I'm not talking about that kind of staring in the mirror. Okay, because a lot of that's superficial and that's just dressing yourself up. I'm talking about really stare at yourself in the mirror. I use that because that's when you're going to see your demons. That's when you're going to see these dark gods rise up. That's when you're going to see the darkest part of yourself. And you can't run, because it's you looking back at you. Where you're going to go? Where you're going to hide? You looking back at you. That's why I use a lot of mirror magic in my work, because I've seen the effectiveness on tapping into the shadow side, the shadow, the dark, the abyss side of ourselves. La Morena del Fuego. That Tiamat Ereshkigal energy is strong, super strong, ferocious strong. So if you're working with that, keep working it, because that Tiamat energy helps tap into that abyss. Remember, Tiamat is connected to the ocean, the waters, the maiden of life. The waters has an abyssic side, the deep part of the ocean. Don't forget that when you work with Tiamat, it can tap you deep into that draconian aspect, but not only that, it's going to also tap into the abyss part of your mind. That's right, Demetrius. The more you push the demons back, the more those demons will push back at you. In other words, the more you try to suppress them, or the more you try to bury them, the more them bad boys going to push back up at you. Those bad girls going to push back up at you and say, nah, son, you ain't going to bury me. You ain't going to try to get rid of me, because I'm a part of you. You created me. I'm a part of you. How you going to get rid of me? Everywhere you go, I go. Everywhere you walk, I walk. Every person you interact with, I'm there interacting with them. So where you going to go? Bust it. You better acknowledge it. Better realize it. That's right. Always study forth everything about that dark god or demon that has come in your dream or ritual work. Study that, because that dark god or demon is resonating with you. The metaphors of that dark god or demon is resonating with you. And it's not always so wonderful. It's there because you're lacking in certain aspects of what that dark god or demon represents. So it's coming to activate or whip some butt to get you to do the work. You're welcome, Coalfield Blue. That's right, Saka 13 Kyoto. You keep running from the dark guys and demons, they're gonna force you to face them. Gonna force you, whether it's a nightmare, dream, a ritual. You could be in a trance listening to music, and all of a sudden you see something, you be like, what the hell? Yeah, exactly. What the hell? Okay. Cloak and Dagger. Is that a movie, La Morena del Fuego? I might have seen it, but I don't think I have. If it is, just let me know if it's a movie and where I can find it, because I'll watch it tonight. Obsidian Sun. Greetings. Maliki, you got me laughing here. All right. Okay, now Necrocanon, that's very interesting because all humans have draconian, dragon, snake, reptilious nature, and okay, cool. They all have this. We all have this nature within us, and I don't mean just nature as in personality. I mean it's actually in your DNA. When you actually look at the child, for the first 3 months of the child's womb, they're more of an amphibious, reptilious creature. When it reaches the next phase, it starts to look kind of reptilious kind of creature, and then when it gets to the last 3 months, you start looking like a humanoid. It's within your characteristics. If you don't put lotion on your skin, what starts to happen, y'all? You start to ash up. Yeah, ashy. Remember all the jokes we had when people was young and people was ashy? Well, people, if you don't put on that lotion, that moisturizer, your skin will ash up. That's a reptilian trait. Your skin starts to scale up. So when you see this and you're doing this shadow work, you're really seeing the draconian aspect of yourself looking back at you if you're doing the mirror rituals or mirror magic or things of that nature. This is what you start to see or starts to come back to you. Again, that's just one of the things. Many things can pop up. Any advice when multiple demons approach you back to back? Yes. Tell the mother effers to chill and say, I'm only going to work with one of y'all at a time. Now, if multiple are coming up, that means there's multiple things that you might have to really focus on in your shadow work. And each of these demons or dark guys that are showing up, you got to study their metaphors, their symbolism, things of that nature. You got to study it and see what's lacking in you. What's missing in you that these dark guys or demons are representing? They may be approaching you back to back. So you got to start with one and then you get to the other ones. But make a note. Write down all the demons or dark guys that may have come forth within your shadow work. Write them down and pick the first one that you're resonating or you feel the most to start with. Start there. And then work your way to all the others. You don't have to rush it. People tend to say, oh, all these guys, I got to work with all of them. No, you don't. Pick one, start with one. And like I tell everybody, do not jump around. That's a lack of discipline. Work with one archetype or demon for at least 6 months to a year before you start bouncing around to this and that. And I want to master this and I want to learn that and this and this and that. Oh, my spirit told me to go here. The spirit told me to go there. You got many spirits within you talking at the same time. They could all be trying to deceive you, play with you, or joke with you, or lead you off straight. You got to be the one voice over all the other voices. There's a big difference. Your true self, your true voice got to speak louder than all the other spirits speaking inside you. Okay, so always understand that. If you are being guided to jump around, tell the spirits to shut the hell up. This is what I'm working with now. Take your time, work at least 6 months to get some level of real understanding, some level of kind of mastery with it before you jump to another. People jump. You become a jack of all trades and master nothing. And that happens quite often on the left-hand path. I see this quite often. People cannot stick to one thing for longer than 2 weeks, a month. They always go, oh, but I got to learn this. No, they're not going anywhere. Okay? They're within you. Where the hell they're going to go? When the time is right, they'll come back up again and say, okay, now it's time to work with this one and work with that one. So where are they going to go? Take your time and master that. That's right. Saka 13 Kyoto. They say Shaitan dwell in the ocean. That's the subconscious or the abyss part of your mind. They dwell deep within you, the abyssic mind. Tiamat is a Shaitan. Yes. Oh, shit, this jump. Who's coming to help? Luna Child Skies, who's coming to help? Type that below because I'm not understanding who's coming to help. Okay, so I'm going to check it out on Freeform then. Where the hell's this thing jumped? Okay. Obsidian Sun, yes, it could be empowering. The experience definitely could be empowering to the adept by doing a soul dedication right. Within any current, yes. Now, if you're doing it on a left-hand path, of course, you alter it towards more of the left-hand path symbolism and ritual work, but it can definitely be empowering. The leaky water, yep. I went to Ohio State for 1 year. I changed south of y'all, yes, I know, but the weather up there is real screwy too. Plus, I lived in Connecticut and New York. New York first, then Connecticut. New England weather is crazy too. All right. Good question by Baliki Water. Brother Ravana, can you speak on how you apply left-hand path on a daily basis? I've been applying more and more, but like to hear how others are incorporating in their lives because it gives. Where's the rest of it? Anyways, so all right, this is how I incorporate it on a daily event. I have Well, I don't have my wallet with me, but within my wallet, I have a sigil that I carry with me everywhere. Okay, whatever my intention is for that day, that sigil will be utilized. A certain sigil will be utilized for that day. When I'm out and about as a vampire, I'm absorbing and devouring energy on a consistent basis. When a situation arises and my habitual pattern can come forth, I destroy it at that very moment. Meaning, road rage. Down here in Florida, and Demetrius knows this, we got some silly ass, dumb ass drivers down here, especially in Orlando, because last year we had 72 million tourists that visited Orlando. 72 million, y'all. Trying to drive from all over different parts of the world, different parts of the United States, all trying to drive. And I'm telling you, I could be in the middle lane and you'll see a fool from the left lane at the last second go straight across to get off of the exit and almost hits your car, my car. I could go into road rage very easily because I used to have it really bad back in the days. So when that occurs, I have to, at that moment, ritualize what I'm feeling to bring it under my control, because I very quickly can go snap that person's neck. Okay? So I have to ritualize that at the moment. I do a breathing exercise. I remind myself that's a fool. I don't need to get involved with that fool, etc., etc., etc. I took advantage of the teachings of the left-hand path of empowering myself, not by destroying the person physically, but destroying them mentally and spiritually. Okay? So I don't allow myself to get in a physical confrontation that is really not worthwhile at this point in time in my life. I just devour them and destroy them and send them on their way and bring my rage under control. Okay? That's an example of how you can ritualize every part of your life every day. The music you listen to, instead of listening to hip hop or R&B or dancehall reggae or house music, I'm just mentioning all the shit I like. House music, lounge music, old school R&B, old school hip hop, reggaeton, salsa, merengue. Yeah, I listen to a lot of different shit. Okay? I'll switch it and put on some binaural beats to reprogram myself. I'll put on some binaural beats. How the hell does that? Sorry, y'all. There's a mosquito in here. I gotta destroy that mother. I'm going to hell, y'all. I destroyed a being. I'm going to hell. Anyways, so I'll listen to binaural beats. I have noise reduction Bose headphones, so it's even better. I put that on while I go walk or to the gym, and I'm reprogramming my subconscious mind and putting out my intention while I'm working out or things of that nature. Every little part of what I'm doing. If one of the best songs to play, especially to tap into the darker aspect of yourself, the subconscious, is Meditation Satan. You can find it here on YouTube. If you know how to get it down on, you know what I'm saying, you can get it onto your phone. There's ways to do that. Then you can use that to reprogram yourself on a consistent basis. All right. So I hope that answers some of what your question was. Akpan Faku, if you see more than one, how do you know which is which? You talking about demons or gods? Well, let me explain something to you. I should have said this earlier, and I'm happy you asked that. The difference between the left-hand path and right-hand path, specifically when you're working with so-called archetypes, gods or demons or things of that nature, is that You must not have faith. See, in the right hand path, you have to have faith and belief to work with these gods. On the left hand path, you have to have gnosis or some knowledge, some understanding. Okay? What do I mean by that? You have to have study intently on the left hand path. So these dark gods or archetypes present themselves. You have had some study so you can identify which ones are presenting themselves if there's multiple ones. That's the difference between the two paths. We don't have faith and belief when we work with archetypes. We have knowledge, wisdom, understanding of what these archetypes represent, metaphors, symbols, etc., and how they resonate or correlate to you. You have to have that knowledge. So again, if you see multiples, you can identify which ones are presenting themselves that your subconscious mind is bringing forth for you to acknowledge. So all I can say is you got to keep doing the studies to identify and know which ones are presenting themselves. Okay? All right, so let's see. King Shango, what up? Good advice by my good brother Demetrius. You can use a circle if you want on the left hand path. It's up to you. If you are just starting, he suggests that you would use it because it does help the subconscious mind focus on your sacred space and the ritual at hand. I will 100% agree with that, especially when you're starting out. It's a good way to concentrate, focus, and utilize a certain system to kind of acclimate yourself to working on this path. As you move further along, the choice is yours. You can use it or not use it. Don't make it a religious thing, though. So that's great advice by Demetrius. I'm just gonna add on. Don't get religious with it and say, "Oh, I have to do my circle every time." No, you don't. Okay, stop it. Anyways, yes, the multiple demons or gods that are coming are always there to assist you. However, assist you or help you, that is case by case basis. Because some of these dark gods can also devour you and destroy you. Okay, so keep that in mind. They tend to devour those who are deluded, meaning they're very delusional. They refuse to face they have problems or issues. And they run and hide things. They tend to devour those kind of people. Okay? So don't think that they're just there to be your best friend and shake your hand and everything else, because you faking the funk, they will take you out. I mean, devour you. I mean, take away from you. I mean, yeah, they'll do all of that. All right? Just got to keep it real. That's right, Saka 13 Kyoto. As Bruce Lee said, and I don't quote me word for word on this, he'd be more. I can't remember exactly the thing, but he'd rather be the person who masters one kick 1,000 times than have 1,000 different kicks, something like that. Okay, but yes, I agree with that. Always master one thing at a time and jumping around like a bunny rabbit. Yeah, Sake. Graduated from Ohio State. Well, I went to Ohio State for 1 year. It was too much of a party school to me, so I went to Howard University in DC. Like, that made a difference. That was a party school too. Anyways, that's another story. Yes, always Always focus on your sacred space. Work your sacred space. Work it. And what I mean by work it is your archetypes that you put on your altar should be resonating with you. Don't just put them up there because they look pretty and cute. Or somebody else has it. All these people are showing their stuff on Instagram and they have this. Ooh, let me get it too. Don't do that. It'll mess you up. Okay? Go with what's resonating with you. You. Not what other people have. Okay? I don't care what other people have. That's irrelevant to me. Go with what you're resonating with. So, when you work your sacred space, create your space to be a vortex of energy. Create your space to be reflecting who and what you are. Okay, and that should be different than everybody else. There should be some uniqueness and difference to everybody else. By the way, for those who wanted to know about the Sith, because I already have had people hit me up while we're talking. To those who want to know about the Sith and how we're going to work this, there's challenges. There's several challenges. It's not just can I get down, take your class. There's several challenges. To be an acolyte in the Sith, as a Sith, you got to be challenged. One of those is how to create your sacred space and work in your sacred space, but from a Sith level. And then there's other ones, but I'm not going to mention that out loud. All right, anyways. All right, good question. Should incantations or invocations, evocation be said out loud? I whisper them during meditation so I don't wake everyone up. I understand your situation. So I know why you do it or whisper it. That's understandable. But it is better to say them out loud and with power and passion behind it. Because remember, sounds can build or destroy. Sound can build or destroy. Okay? So keep that in mind. But it depends on your situation. If you have to be quiet because there's others in your household and they're not, down with what you're into, then you got to be discreet and you got to be smart about it. So yeah, keep doing it the way you are. But when you do get that moment of freedom where you can have your own, then yes, it's better to do it out loud. Yeah, and 408, 417, 429 is retards on there too. Less retards than I4, but there's retards on 408, 417, 429. Some of these other toll roads, there are retards there too. Less because less tourists know about the toll roads or refuse to do toll roads because it doesn't cost that much though, but it costs. But they're still there. All right, wait a second. Let's jump. Oh shit, this jump. Okay, here it is. All right, the Zeta. Most likely, it could have been a dream that was activated from the mirror ritual. Two Cthulhu beings fighting each other could represent a conflict within you. Could represent a conflict within you, but you might have to find out go in a little deeper to find out what the conflict really is within you. Okay, the only book that I will say coming off hand that I can recommend to utilize is a book called Baneful Magic by E.A. Coetting. Check that book out. It's pretty good. Baneful Magic by E.A. Coetting. All right. That's a good book to check out. That's for Obsidian Sun, by the way. All right. So Sunday, speaking of Necrocannon saying he does deep dark mantras lately. Good. Sunday, that's what Sunday's topic is on YouTube. Deep dark mantras. Normally we would be doing a class on Zoom, but Cosmic Serpent is still occupied, so she won't be able to do the part 2 to the sex magic class until next Sunday, which will be on Zoom then. But this Sunday, I will be here on YouTube. It will be myself, and I'll be discussing dark meditations and dark mantras. All right. We're going to be going over that. So Necrocannon kind of sparked that when he put that into the chat room. That's true, Demetrius. I would take a bus too, but transportation sucks. Public transportation sucks here sometimes. So, although we have a train system, Sunrail, but it's not that dope. But it's all right. I might start taking it more often so they can smash into the train. All right, Necrocannon put a YouTube link here, so check it out. Yeah. All right, now I want to answer this question by Obsidian Sun, but then I don't, because that's part of the challenge for the Sith. Is creating your own holocron and amulets as a Sith. And we're going to go over that as a Sith, how to actually do that with dark side energy. So I want to answer Obsidian Sun, but I'm going to reserve that for when we do a private class for the Sith and for people who want to get down with that and do challenge and get down with the challenges before we really get deep into the Sith. All right. So I'm going to just hold on to that one, Obsidian Sun. And Necrocannon posted another one to use. Let me see this one. Nope. 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 All right. All right. Sometimes the best magic is when you shoot from the hip. Very true. Not to let circle casting become a religious practice you can't live without. Exactly. Primal or primordial sorcery is the best form of sorcery or magic that I found because it's spontaneous. It's less thought out as far as a restrictive format or ritual where hey, step 1 do this, step 2. Sometimes it's best to just come from the hip, spontaneous. Just roll with it. Whatever popping, pop with it. Lean with it. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, do that. All right. When I drive to school on the way there, I say out loud, I am Lucifer, I am Tiamat, I am Makati, and so on. When I reach school, I have a shit ton of energy and I embody those archetypes. Exactly. I have another way to ritualize your day is how you begin your day. I have 2 affirmations I say. I'm gonna show you one of them I say before my feet even hit the ground. Okay? Here it is. I am a Sith. I embody darkness and passion. I use strength to overcome my weaknesses and my enemies. I embody power. I use power to become a greater version of myself. I am now victorious, for I am free from what binds me. I am Sith. I say that every morning. Every morning before my feet hit the ground. That's how I charge up my day, ritualize my day from step 1 when I get up. All right. Let's see. What's a good voice recording app where you can loop yourself? Somebody's Akpan Faku. If anybody's in here who recommended an app where you could actually record your voice and possibly loop it. Okay, Wacky J 2012 says he uses VLC media player. It has repeat and loop. Okay, but voice, I'm not quite sure. If anybody knows, put it in there. I have what is it called? Jeez, my mind went blank. Adobe Premiere Pro, which allows you to edit videos. What I do is you can record your voice, right? I have an app here where I can record my voice. I have a Dell, so my app to record the voice. Let me see what the hell is the name of this thing. Sound Recorder app. That's the app I use. It's called Sound Recorder app. So I record my voice, and then what I do is I create a video with like a PowerPoint presentation with my voice speaking over it. Because with the Adobe Premiere Pro, I can actually just edit and take the voice and connect it to images. So I can edit it together. Okay, let's see who else recommended. Audacity and Garage Band apps is recommended by La Morena del Fuego. Wacky J 2012, you can merge files with this one. Check out Audio MP3, Cutter Mix, Converter, and Ringtone Maker. So hopefully that helps you out, Akpan Faku. Sir Noble says tape a talk app. That's who it was. It was you, Sir Noble, who said it. He gonna sneak in here at the last second and say something. Sir Noble, huh? Anyways, no, it's take a talk. Wait, jeez, now I can't even say it. Tape a talk app allows recording a voice sound you can loop. Tape a talk app. Tape a talk app. Is that on your Sir Noble? Is that on your phone or is that an app for your computer? Oh, my back. My back is hurt. Let me check something. Tape a talk. I don't think my computer has it. I think that's for a phone, man. Yeah, not happening. Yeah, that's computer, man. Any words of power? They're not really offhand right now. I can't, Obsidian Sun. But if it comes to me, I will email them to you. Not offhand do I know words of power for the void. But if it comes to me, I will definitely share with you, Obsidian Sun. Now, I'm going to finish it off with this, y'all, this evening. I'll probably close off a little early because I'm hungry. Brother's hungry. So let me finish off with this, all right? The black flame, which we utilize a lot in the left-hand path, is that spark of creativity that allows you to become a god. It's that spark of creativity that you must use that will allow you to become a god. All right? The violet flame, Luna Child Skies, tickles your booty. That's what the violet flame does. But the black flame is the spark of creativity that allows you to become a god. All right? Now, it depends what you want to use. If you want your booty to be tickled, then you do the violet flame. The violet flame. If you want to spark that creativity, then you use the black flame. It's your choice. Now, I could say this, Obsidian Sun's coming to me. A pep. A pep is something that can be utilized to tap into the void. A pep is something that can be utilized to tap into the void. So if you want to create a word of power with a pep, that helps you tap into the void. All right. So hopefully I will see y'all Sunday at 7 p.m. where we will build on dark meditation, dark mantras, how to utilize them on the left-hand path, especially the dark meditations. Because once you get into dark meditations, it's going to help you with dark mantras. You'll be sparked naturally to create dark mantras, right? So I'll share what is known as Vashkaran or Vashkiran, which is basically considered black magic mantras to some people. We're going to share some of that to empower yourself. All right. No, the Sith classes can start as soon as you contact me. Let me explain the difference with Sith classes. The Sith is called the rule of two. The main focal point of the Sith is the rule of two. You have a master who has the power, the knowledge, etc., and you have the acolyte or the apprentice. Well, it's the apprentice, not even the acolyte. It's the apprentice who craves that power, who wants that power and learns everything from the master to eventually they become the master themselves. But right now, because we're still developing and putting things into motion, it's going to be kind of like a Sith order to eventually be dissolved into masters having their own apprentices. So it can run simultaneously because this is not anything associated with vampirism or anything like that. It has some connections to it, but this is running simultaneously. So whoever wants to get down with it, you just let me know. darkcultist99@outlook.com. Right? You let me know if you want to get down with that because I got challenges for your ass. Prove yourself worthy as an acolyte to become an apprentice. This is not going to be stroking people's ego. This is not going to be, can I take a class and get down? This is going to be, if you're really down, challenge. We're going to challenge each other. We're going to challenge. It's some of the challenges are tough. I'm going to just say that. All right. So there's my email address, darkcultist99@outlook.com. So if you're really serious with that, you hit me up with the Sith thing. We're going to start with the challenges as soon as you email me. Yo, Ravana, I want to get down with the Sith thing. Don't neglect your vampiric classes because you'll see how they integrate in certain levels. But this is also can run simultaneously because the Sith stuff, I got these challenges. I got a lot of challenges laid out. A lot. It's not for the weak of heart. So if you feel you're strong, you feel you're strong mentally, physically, spiritually, let's pop. Let's get it popping. If you feel you still got some weaknesses and you're afraid of certain things, you might not want to get down. Okay, I'm just saying. It's for the if you want to become stronger, then you need this. Okay, the challenge is it's not me challenging, it's you challenging yourself. Keep that in mind. It's not me challenging you, it's you challenging yourself. Can you accomplish these tasks? Can you accomplish these tasks? Anybody who knows about old school sorcery and magic and things like that, no, it wasn't an easy thing. You were challenged by the master or the wizard or the sorcerer or the witch or whatever all the time. All right? You were challenged all the time. So if you want to get it popping, hit me at darkcultist99@outlook.com. All right, y'all. I'm hungry as hell. I could devour everything right now. That's how hungry I am. So I'm going to get off this thing, eat my food, and kick back and relax. I'll see y'all Sunday at 7 p.m. on YouTube. Come ready for some dark mantras, dark meditations, so we can do this. All right? And use that black flame. Spark yourself. Peace is a lie. There's only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. Through victory, my chains are broken. 1.